This is Past the Rock.
We are back, and now it's time to talk about America's pastime, My Christmas,
America's team.
opening day, and the first week of Texas Rangers baseball in the 2025 season. A lot of high expectations coming into this year. Everyone thinks we should be pretty decent. You'll see us on a lot of end-of-year division prediction winners lists and all that. So it's a good start so far. We'll kind of go a little bit chronologically here. We had opening day. What was that? Almost a week ago. It'll be a week ago tomorrow.
Yep.
Against the Boston Red Sox. A nice little game. Rangers lose, but it was still a fun game.
It was mostly fun. We got our first experience with our new closer. Didn't go well. Not ideal. Not
Excuse
as
me,
they
I'm dying.
draw it up.
No, but there were some flashes of some fun stuff there. Got all the opening day nonsense out of the way.
Well, it begins the first major narrative of the 2025 Rangers, which is that my beginning hunch, maybe the second game is better for it, but I believe that when we re-signed Nate Eovaldi, that it may be an overpay, maybe hopefully best world he's the two this year, right? Maybe Kumar, maybe Leiter, maybe it didn't feel like Leiter, but now and then DeGrom, like maybe they emerge as the true ace, and then Uvalde goes back to being the most elite 1B you could have, or whatever you want to call him. But after two games, especially I guess the second game,
Yeah.
I am beginning to wonder if a player like him doesn't feel like he's been very much disrespected and kind of overlooked in much of his career, despite
He's thought of incredibly highly across the country
I
for
feel
baseball
you.
heads.
So, but
He
is
had-
it like
he had
how
one bad
much Hall of
performance.
Fame lock is he? Is my question.
Oh, I couldn't even begin to tell you how that's going to
So
go.
that's where I'm going.
What's
with.
his career war? That's kind of the deciding factor, honestly.
That's my thing. Is he trying to? Cy Young, one Cy Young, no Cy Young, right? No Cy Young, just really big playoff performer mostly, and then steady, reliable, consistent for a while. Otherwise.
I'll look. I don't remember that he won one, but I'll check just in case.
So I mean, I'm just thinking. Cy Young's a big thing to try to tout, but I am curious.
Never got
see
one of those.
If he hasn't taken this chance in Texas to really like try to cement his Hall of Fame legacy. He is a Texas guy, obviously, from the same place as Nolan, right?
Yes, so he's
crazy.
the second ever major league starting pitcher from Alvin, Texas, Alvin High School.
So I do think it's pretty incredible for what Nate's doing, and even if this rest of this Texas Rangers team is mediocre to bad, I do think that there's a chance that Nate Eovaldi is trying to write the next chapter of his, or close the end of his career on an incredibly high note.
Yeah, I mean he's 35, so I mean he's still got plenty of time.
But it feels like this is how old is the oldest Cy Young winner? Like, could he even sniff that territory at that age? Would be an interesting question to me, because you're
Clemens won his seventh one at age 42.
all right.
Verlander,
he was out there just trying to prove to everybody that steroids was fun enough to embrace, and they couldn't let the truth bomb be told.
Verlander won it at 39, and then no one really recently. R.A. Dickey was 37 in 2012 when he won it.
That was a random one. I remember that one.
And Verlander won another one at
name was
36 and 30. Well, R.A. Dickey was a Ranger. No one knew about him until he came back and got good with his knuckleball later on in his career with other teams. I'll never forget R.A. Dickey, the Ranger. Not great.
Yeah, so
it's possible. But yeah, you're right. He is the linchpin of that whole thing, the whole operation. Because as great as DeGrom is, and as good as Scherzer was before, you're lucky if you get a lot of innings out of those guys. So you have all these kind of got to be the leader in the rotation.
I mean, it almost puts you to a point where, like, he just wants to make it to where there's no room, even as good as Jack's been, as great as maybe Jake can still be later this season, both of them. Kumar maybe bounce back. and you have a situation where it's just he feels like
Well,
he's
and
cemented his status as being one of the bigger ones in all of baseball, or he's wanting to.
yeah, for sure. And Rocker, he's up there right now because of injuries. He would have started in AAA this year. Otherwise,
We'll get if you want to get to Rocker, we'll get to Rocker. I kind
well,
of
I just mean as
have a
far as
theory on
being
it.
on the
But
opening day
yeah,
rotation,
he's definitely
he
further
wasn't
down.
going to be in there. But
He's
he is
younger
because
than
of
Leiter, or
injuries.
just injury wise.
No, he's
Leiter's
older.
had it better.
I think he's older than Leiter.
He's older. Just Leiter's better right now.
Yeah, and I think Leiter's had more health opportunity to play, right? He
They
played
both
consistently.
played full season last year, and Leiter was, I think he might have been the AAA pitcher of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe Rocker was. I can't remember now. But Leiter is better, especially through spring training. You hear people talk about it. He kind of came in this year and looks like he belongs. It looks like he matured and made that step. Like he just looks to the part.
No,
But we'll get to some
does.
of Jack. But yeah, opening day, Uvalde did great. The bullpen was good up until Luke Jackson unfortunately blew his first. Well, we wouldn't even say it was tied at 2 when he came in, but he blew his first opportunity to impress Ranger fans. But they bounced back pretty quick with 3 more wins against the Red Sox: 4-1, 3-1, and 3-2. You'll kind of notice a theme as we're going along here. The real sour note here in the first week was obviously losing Josh Young, and then subsequently
Smith.
Smith only missed like a game. But yeah, Josh Young moved to the IL. They said 10 days. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Well, it brings
you don't
a
like
different
to
question.
see Ezekiel Duran getting this many games this early.
No, because Ezekiel Duran is the only player on the Rangers that I actually expect to have as bad of a batting average as he has right now.
It's not great.
Josh Smith has been incredible, though, and I think again, which is also making you wonder: is this just a minor setback to start the season for Josh? Honestly, Josh Young at first base. Explore that with
Who?
me. Josh Young at first base.
No.
Yeah.
You can't just. That doesn't work.
It's the same thing that I was being understood about the Boston Red Sox, where they're starting a fat guy at third base because they don't want to awkwardly tell him to be benched, even though Bregman's like a defensive star.
I mean, there's nothing about Josh Young's injuries that have anything to do with him playing third base. They're almost all freak injuries. It just keeps happening.
Right, but it's like no offense to him, but
you also
do
can't
not
just
feel
move
like
positions in baseball like that.
Yeah, and actually, while I was watching today, so I had this hot take yesterday, but today I watched the game and let it really cook. I think the problem with my logic there is Corey is too unreliable now to health-wise to like not have Josh Smith actually just being ready for whoever's not available that day. Like you kind of actually do need a Josh Smith with this type of team.
There's Josh Smith is obviously kind of supplanted everyone as the utility guy.
He's not gonna. He's a utility guy who's not gonna hurt for opportunity.
No, and everyone needs a day off every now and then, and Josh Smith is a great guy to be able to plug in there.
And this team might need more than a few days off.
We'll see. Simeon's not going to miss any time unless he's significantly hurt.
Well, that was the story today. Is Corey took his spot today? They were going to stop. They were going to bench him, and then Corey didn't feel right, which I'm okay with. Like I'm not shitting. On Corey.
Again, it's early, so they're going to take their time.
I'm very okay with resting people to start 160 game season.
Yeah, if his calf's not 100%, go ahead and give him the extra day, especially on a weird day game when it's cold in Cincinnati. We'll get to some of that. But against the Red Sox, the offense wasn't particularly great. We're having some trouble with runners in scoring position. That's going to be a big topic for the next few weeks to see if they can improve that. There's flashes, obviously. Langford's hit a couple home runs. Garcia got his first one. It's mostly been the guys that you don't know, like the Higashioka.
Higashioka, I think that is correct.
Peterson, Pilar, even on opening day, was coming up with some decent hits. Josh Smith today got the lone RBI.
Jock,
Look, It's a long season.
I told you when you put 4 on that there was great worry in my heart, and it's not helping so far. But
With
it is
Peterson,
just
I'm
too
mostly
serious.
confused about those bright neon shin guards that he's wearing.
See,
But
so like, okay, right now, Burger or Jock, which one is most likely to be replaced at some point in this season?
if you're just going off the stats so far, I think it's Jock. But I think long term, it's probably Burger. If I'm just
I
predicting.
think that answer says a lot, and especially because I know you don't like to get that close to the hot takes about that.
Well, and
But I
also
think
it's just
that
so
reality
early,
is
and
a very.
yeah.
I think Robert Garcia is my type of relief pitcher, so I'm excited for him, and that's how I'm going to sell myself on Nate Lowe trade. But Burger, well, I need
It's
the
7. I
Burger
mean,
bumped at home at least.
this is like trying to make season predictions in the NBA after one game, basically.
No, I know.
So it's
I'm just, but I'm impatient, and I want both of those guys to smack the ball really far and hard. And
absolutely, and no one on the team's been doing that right now. Now,
no,
the weather
Wyatt's tried.
the weather in Cincinnati has not helped any of
No,
that. But
did
also,
not.
they're not really hitting the ball very well either. So that's a mild concern. I'll be more concerned in May if it's still a problem because
Yeah,
right now
next
they're in
is
prime position to be fine. I'm sorry.
who's the next series?
The Rays. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
We're back home. We got a day off. Get our first day off. 6 games. Sorry, 7 games.
Yeah,
6
tomorrow's
games.
a
7
day
games,
off.
and then a day off.
Beautiful.
So it's looking pretty good. There's a lot of things to be happy about. Like you mentioned, Uvalde, his first start incredible. Second start somehow even better. He pitched what they call a Maddox, which is a complete game shutout in under 100 pitches.
Okay. I was trying to figure out the differential, and was too lazy to Google.
Yeah. In a 1-0 win, followed up today with the Rangers winning for the first time ever back-to-back 1-0 games. A pretty rare feat in baseball in general. It just doesn't happen much. People are going to typically score something. Not 2 straight shutouts and not 2 straight of you only getting 1 run.
Funny that it was exactly why we built this ballpark, and that it shouldn't have and that it didn't happen in the ballpark.
We
So
built
I
our
just think there's
ballpark
some
so
irony
players,
is funny, right?
so players would want to play here.
No, I hear you, but it's still funny because the irony is still funny. It's not where there's no gotcha. It's just simply laughing at a little bit of irony in this
And
in this stat.
Again,
Because
some of it's
1-0 is pretty cool.
some
but
of
it's
it's
also,
helped out by the
one.
weather in Cincinnati this time of year being cold, wet, tough to pitch in, and tough to hit in as well. It doesn't feel good when you hit a ball in the cold.
And does the law of averages work against the Reds because Kumar pitched BP to them the first game?
That's another funny stat because the Reds blew us out the first game 14-3, so we won a series being outscored 14-5. That was a bad look. That was not a good game for Kumar. Really,
so if we have if
the
if
only
I ever
bad game of the
see,
season so far is that game.
I need one thing for Bruce Bochy to do for me this season already. I'm very confident in this. Kumar Rocker is a fun guy. I want to see him play. If he's going to be a relief guy moving forward when healthier guys come about, that's awesome. No problem with that. Here's the thing. I don't think it's fair to subject Ranger fans to both Kumar Rocker and Garabuti in the same game. Okay? So Kumar, if it's bad, we get it. We're watching him develop. Good, its lumps are good lumps. If it's Garabuti, it's getting very close to the why is this guy still on my roster? Very, very close.
And we'll see. It's again 7 games in, so we'll see things can turn quickly.
Garabuti, we're not forgetting last year with Garabuti at all.
I mean, yeah, it's the bullpen it's always going to bounce up and down. Well, let's touch on some of the good here. Leiter today specifically pulled after 5 innings because of a blister on his hand. We're hoping that's not much, but when he was in, it was pretty incredible. Kind of doing the exact same thing Uvalde did the night before. He goes 5 innings, 0 earned, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. His strike percentage was 65.7, which is good. 11 swings and misses. This was one of the quickest baseball games I've ever seen in my life. I think it was under 2.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But the interesting thing, and he's got that kick change, and I can't explain to you why that's different than a normal changeup. There's videos on it, but it seems to have rounded out his pitch portfolio a little bit. Let's see here. Sorry. So today he threw 44% sliders. The changeup was about 10%. The fastball about 22. It feels like a really good balance of keeping hitters on their toes and not knowing what's coming next. He's not relying too much on anything. In previous situations where he wasn't hitting his spots last year, it would go bad quick, kind of like Rockers did the other night. But this year he's just next batter, turned it right back around, and just attacked that guy, and that's been incredible. And
he's got the motherfucker build to him a little bit more, right? Like it feels like he was doing a lot of all chest no legs.
And that's kind of what what I mentioned earlier is he just kind of looks. He all of a sudden looks mature, like he's been a seasoned guy in a rotation for a while. He looks.
How old is he?
20 something. I don't know.
Yeah, is he 25-ish? Is that right, or a little younger?
I could see that being true. Jack
24.
Leiter, public figure.
He's a 24. I'm on TexasRangers.com.
Thanks.
Yes. Born in 2000.
On the flip side of that, we have DeGrom. We're interested in his health, what he's going to look like. Excuse me, sorry. I've got this fucking thing in my throat that I can't get rid of. I think the thing for DeGrom, he pitched really well in his game, is if he can keep that changeup percentage up and keep that velocity in that 96 to 98 range, he could pitch all year without trouble. It's when he starts trying to throw too hard that he starts hurting himself every time.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch tomorrow, Friday, if I hopefully can. Was not able to catch the game until basically I think he was already done the other night.
Yeah, he only went 5, and that's going to be typical to start a year, as guys aren't going to get as many innings. Having Eovaldi go 9 had a lot to do with the 14-3 game, and just because Nate can.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited about it. I mean, I love the way he's talking about throwing pitches. He's a smart guy. He wants to play baseball. It's kind of the thing that's nice about these guys is that, you know, we go out and sign free agents, even guys like Corey, where it's like he's not a very emotional guy, but you can tell that he gives a shit and it's fun for him. Like, it's just there's more than just the paycheck to this stuff.
Yeah, and there's part of the trouble I think some people might have with adapting to this team is through the 2010 and 11 teams, we had a lot more personalities, a lot more build up. It felt less clinical. Seager and Simeon are very clinical baseball players, and they're great at it. But it's nice that some of these younger guys, Wyatt, seeing Eovaldi come out there, maybe Leiter can help fill this role too of a little more personality on the field in terms of human emotion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's also funny because Langford seems like kind of a boring kid too. He just is such a physical specimen that he's going to be naturally great for TV.
Yeah, and it was actually, honestly, we got for real baseball heads. It was pretty fun this last few games getting to see Ellie De La Cruz out there for the Reds. That motherfucker 6'7", all over the place. One of the fastest, strongest guys in the world. I
spent the whole series thinking about packages to acquire him.
Probably not worth it because they would require more than he's actually valued, which is already really high.
No, we're gonna have some NBA executives infiltrate
those teams. Those teams need their one guy. So.
No, he was incredible though.
It's been a fun little 7 games. There's not you can't read too much into anything, but you're happy to be 5-2. That's not a bad way to start.
And happy to read into things anyway.
Really one bad bullpen outing, which was the 9th inning, Luke Jackson on opening day. Otherwise, the bullpen's been solid. This is kind of a rarity around here to have quality starting pitching and bullpen and be wondering if the bats are ever going to do anything.
Yeah, and we're also hopeful for Luke Jackson. It did start off poorly, but it has been good. 3 saves, so that's already nice.
Yeah, for sure. In tight spots.
And, you know, look, we have to talk about it. The new closer in town in DFW wearing 77.
It's a weird bit.
I don't know. All I know is from a ball watcher standpoint, Robert Garcia. I don't remember Milner's first name. D.
Hobie.
Milner's cousin.
Hoby. Hobie.
Hobie Milner. Is it Hobby or Hobie?
I think it's Hobie.
Okay. So yeah,
And he's technically a Dallas kid. He went to Robert L. Pascal in Fort Worth,
okay.
and then of course pitched at Texas. So that
Fair.
helps.
Okay, there you go.
DFW kid. Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
I love the way some pitchers throw. It's Derek Holland was the first one. Is my best one. Aroldis Chapman's still of this. Just people who look like they're built kind of like gorillas, and then just kind of feel like they're slinging a rock really fast. Like that's basically the best way I can describe it. And we have multiple guys that do that. Chris Martin is boring, just like Coldplay, but I appreciate that. It's
I know
exactly what
me and my friends were discussing what Coldplay sound drop they should have for when he strikes someone out, and I think we came to the agreement that the only one that actually would make sense is the strings from Viva La Vida.
Dun,
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 dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
dun.
Every time he strikes someone out. But it would be really funny if it's all of a sudden, look at the stars.
Shut
And
up.
they were the yellow song, the really sad one about cancer. And they're all yellow.
Yeah, that's yellow. I didn't sing it well, but that's what I was attempting to sing.
Wait. Oh, is that? Wait, yeah.
Kind of
okay.
shard for you.
Wait. What about
I'm trying to think
this?
of the
What
most
about this?
sad one. What's their
Yeah,
most sad song?
fix you.
There's
Fix
another
You.
one. It's like
Yeah.
when if he strikes somebody out, right, and that's the end. That you play when you try your best, but you don't succeed.
Fix you. Yes.
Just play that little line right there.
I do remember
Oh,
at the old stadium, one of the clips they would play when the pitcher was coming off from the opposing team was that Daniel Powder "Bad Day" song, and I think that should have stuck.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hilarious.
You had a bad day.
That one was
It
tough
just
because it was
Head
just
down,
like,
go into the stupid dugout. Like,
it just depends on how much you ever watched American Idol. Because American Idol was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna use this song forever.
And there are
Forever.
songs where they can find their spot, and that's that song's spot.
That's that song. They were like, dude, did you know that if we played this every time someone gets eliminated, that it makes it seem like it's sad? Bro.
I think it plays in an arena better than me watching garbage reality TV. But anyways,
American Idol is definitely the king of that.
it's just never mind. I don't want to get into my American Idol hate right now.
Sanjaya, though, you didn't watch the Sanjaya season? That was amazing.
It's just karaoke.
Yeah, it is karaoke.
Just elite karaoke.
They did find Kelly Clarkson in the first try, and then
there's obviously been some talented people who come out of it, but I think 98% of the other ones not.
Isn't
Not
that
worth
one
me sitting
country
through.
singer who gets like all the NBC Sunday Night Football was also on
Carrie
there?
Underwood, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, the guy got the Queen job.
Adam Lambert.
Yeah, he got Queen, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, Daughtry had a few months of being the new Nickelback Creed.
Monza, that one felt like a couple of years.
God
Maybe.
damn it, Daughtry was so annoying.
And it's not over.
But yeah, we're talking about one out of
I'm
100
going
people every
home.
year.
To the place where I belong, where your love gone off for me.
So I've heard that being described as everyone trying to sing like Cher.
Hellmouth.
Huh?
I mean, it's just the Pearl Jam sound also.
No, it is basically they all are just trying to do a dumbed down Eddie Vedder, but it does come off more like Cher.
Do you believe in love after love? Yeah, I see it. I see it. All right.
So that's Chris Martin.
Chris Martin, the Rangers pitcher.
Not related to Cher, as far as we know.
or Chris
Um,
Martin, the British rock
We got
star.
Mark Church, who sounds like he could be a Christian rapper.
Sure.
Hadn't seen much of him, but he plays.
He is on the 40, man.
He's a player.
Jacob Webb looks better than not, but
He was fine
still
today.
I still am fairly suspicious.
It's tough. I mean, the Red Sox were obviously not doing well outside of what's his name, Abreu, who killed us.
Yeah, he did.
And then the Reds aren't especially great. So, it's nice to beat them, but you'd like to see them do that against some tougher competition here in a little bit.
Yeah, the Reds didn't seem like a very good offensive
No, they're
team.
not expected to be very good.
It's pretty funny that they clobbered us.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it's just interesting. All the batting averages just look really bad. It's not even just that guys are like off to slow starts. Like they just look really bad statistically. Like it's just no way to get around how.
I mean, yeah, 7
putrid
games
those
of
look.
not scoring more than 4 a game, it's never going to look good.
Yeah.
Especially with that. And again, the runners in scoring position. That's got to be better. Because even if you're not getting hits all game, once someone gets a second or third, you got to figure that out.
Yeah,
That's
and I
open
mean,
shot.
look,
That's getting an open looking basketball. That's finding it. Your running back's got to hit the seams.
it's doing the basics to build the rest. Yeah, I mean, Adolis looks like he's playing some of the best baseball we've seen him play. This last series wasn't necessarily an extension of what was happening in Arlington, but
the defense still looks solid.
yeah. And then Wyatt probably has a pretty big series if it's not just such a windy day today.
Yeah.
So that's good. Leody
Tavares. Leonis Martin has not been around.
I knew I was going to do it. I'm going to keep doing that no matter what. And it's mostly because, look, when did we get Tavares? It was like he was supposed to be like a big deal out of the Cardinals system, right? And so, like, it's just one of those things where I'm starting to get impatient for the young kids because Duran seems like a good defender for the most part, but this guy can't hit the ball with.
Tavares has just been with us his whole time.
But wasn't he a prize in a trade? I thought he was like a prize.
No, we got him from the Dominican Republic.
Okay, maybe I misremember.
And he's only 26, so it's like he's not even in his prime years yet.
And I hear that, and I get why they're being impatient. And I'm not saying Evan Carter needs to be up with the big team immediately. I understand why.
Oh, he definitely does not, and I guess that's a whole other subject.
I get that. I get that. It's fine. Evan Carter is going to play in the major leagues again. I feel good about that. Is it going to be as a Ranger? I don't know.
He's got to learn how to bat against left-handed pitching because he's still struggling against the AAA guys.
Again, we're hoping for the best, and we'll see what happens.
We caught lightning in a bottle for 4 weeks with him, and I'm worried that was it.
Well, he needs time, and he has time. Ornelas seems like an interesting prospect, but this is really the first we're seeing of him, so I don't know what to judge.
Yeah, he's been up before.
He was up late last year when it was boo-boo time. But now it's like him actually trying to be a part of a team winning games. So, and Pilar defensively, not a bad thing, but again, it just makes me wonder. I'm already seeing the transactional. I don't think Chris Young's going to be that guy, but I'm already thinking it.
We'll be making moves by the deadline, but you won't know until August or late July what any of that even pretends to look like.
Yeah. No, I know. We're a long ways away, but it doesn't stop me from pondering because I feel like we also didn't talk about I just call him Molly, but it's not
Tyler
right.
Molly, yeah.
It's Mally, I think.
Oh. Maybe. I've always thought it was Molly because of the age.
He had a shit day for the most part. 2 innings, right? Something like that.
1 second.
2 innings, but we ended up winning for the bullpen. I think that was.
He went 1.2 innings, gave up a run on 1 run.
So not good. We don't like that. We don't like that they bailed on it. If they're being cautionary with him health wise, maybe.
I mean, there's also matchup stuff, and again, it's the beginning of the year. Everyone's slow rolling into this thing.
I feel that, but it's not a fun sign to be pulling guys that quick. Kumar, it's an excusable thing because we know what we're expecting when we go. We're
I
throwing
was
him out there hoping for the
surprised.
best.
I was surprised they let him go that third inning.
No, I liked it actually. I was like, no, that's fair. Keep him out there.
I mean,
Honestly,
you had to.
would
The
have kept him.
bullpen's been well. I mean, but you don't want to do that to him either.
Come on, bro.
That's-
You got it. What's going to happen? They ended up scoring 14 runs in the game anyway. He could have been there
It's-
instead of Garabuti.
It's different. You don't want him giving up all. You don't want to just shatter his confidence his first outing of the
See,
season.
this is where I think baseball needs to hire some basketball people because we tell shooters to shoot. If you're afraid to shoot, that's more worry. That scares me
It's-
more than
It's different.
no. I want you to go out there and not give a fuck. I want you to build the biggest don't give a fuck armor of all time.
It's different.
I don't care.
Let's not talk about the fragility of some of these basketball players' brains because
I'm not saying there's not.
Russell Westbrook's throwing people out of games for calling him names. So
Right, but this is in between the lines. This is just you taking your licks and getting better.
to some extent, but also you don't leave your
One more
quarterback.
inning.
You don't leave your rookie quarterback in there if he's gotten sacked 8 times or thrown 5 picks.
See, but
What do you mean? They do that
I
all the time.
disagree. I disagree.
No, they
See,
don't.
The Texans.
Caesar,
Texans did that to save
Caesar,
the
jump
car.
in on him because rookie quarterbacks. I agree. I think rookie quarterbacks should suffer. I think it's fun. I think it builds character.
I mean,
And
to some extent.
it's like an extreme hazing to see who's actually going to work or not.
I mean, to some extent, you want them
No,
to
no.
buy you for sure.
All you do is ruin their
Dude,
careers.
If Dak Prescott can do it, why the rest of these guys
Well,
can't?
Dak Prescott didn't have a
Are you kidding me?
bad set of circumstances his rookie year. What are you talking about?
He was
Yeah,
a
some of the
cupcake
best
back
circumstances
there.
the rookie
No one
could
even
have.
touched
But
him.
he's Dak Prescott. So if Dak Prescott can do it,
These are bad
How many-
points.
how many
I
did
love
Eli? How did Eli go on his first year? I know he eventually got in there over Kurt.
Actually, I don't remember. That was like 20
That's a
years
Hall of
ago.
Famer right there. That's a Hall of
No,
Famer, Eli
no,
Manning.
we're not having that conversation.
Anyways,
Manning, but
you
I
you like Rocker to come back and look a little bit better and start 2, obviously. Oh, sorry.
Also, I feel with Rocker, he's on the older side. You shouldn't have be playing with kid gloves with a guy,
No, he does have 2 injuries.
because how old is he now? Is he like almost 26 years old?
Yeah, I mean, he's still relatively young for a baseball player.
What about bullpen? Even what if Bradford's magically healthy tomorrow?
I think they would
He's
send him
25.
to.
He turns 26 in November. I don't know. I
That's
look at that
after-
age
that's after the
and my NFL brain's like, he's a 25-year-old rookie. He needs to be playing now and being
different.
playing well now.
It's
Yeah,
different.
exactly, Caesar. Thank you.
Very different. I think he'll get sent back down to AAA to start for a while, and then we'll see what happens from there.
All right. Well, that's fair. That's the boring way, but you're right. Josh Spores. That's the last name I wanted to talk about because the injury guys we don't know.
I don't even know what's going on with him.
Is he just on the team for vibes because he got the final out in the World Series, or is he actually going to be a part of this group?
Let me see what we got here. I haven't read up
I
on
want the guy
what's
to
going on with him
be
lately.
On there for the vibe. He's a vibes captain. He did get that last out. That's
Well, and it's also like I'm looking at this bullpen and I'm like, yeah, dude, I could easily. I mean, Garabuti instantly. I'm happy to slide in Spores, even with the heart attack that he gave me all the months leading up to the World Series.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Spores had surgery on his shoulder in November, so he'll be back eventually, but he's coming back from that.
Okay, but that is so he's still kind of out in the open. I mean, Gray, I don't expect back for a while. Bradford and Young seem to be sort of mysterious and what's going on.
I would
there, right?
assume Young will be back sooner than Bradford.
So, but Josh isn't pitching anytime soon. Ezekiel Duran moved to the bullpen.
No.
How is utility used that way? Can I also have Josh Smith be a pitcher? Can we try?
When you're down by 14 or more runs, sure.
But no, just regularly. What if Ohtani wants to do that when he's older?
He can.
So he could technically be like, all right, I want to be a DH and relief pitcher if he
Yeah.
just wants to take the load off.
I
He
don't see why
could.
not.
He's the only one that anyone would ever do that.
But could he also be a starter and a relief pitcher?
Not at the same.
No,
No way.
Not in the
Because of
same
the
game,
work-
obviously, but
the workload's tough, and there's habits, and there's prep between starts. And
okay.
It's yeah.
I feel you. I'm just curious to the links of which you can really.
Yeah, I'm
It's
trying to
just-
think of what another sport equivalent of that is, but it's tough to.
No, because things aren't as like I don't like. I think the closest is back in the old day where the quarterback was like also a safety and a kicker.
Yeah, and at least a quarterback could nowadays. You might have him do a sneak punt, and that might be it.
Yeah.
Jonah Himes had a pretty decent start.
Yes.
2 home runs.
Jonah Hyman.
Him and Kyle are competing for that main catching spot, so it's nice to see them both kind of come out and perform as they've both been out there.
Who did Higgy also start for? He started for Uvalde both times, but I think there was another game. Maybe not. Maybe Jonas had the rest of them.
I don't know. I do know that Bochy said he, as much as he can, he's going to try to keep it from it being like only this guy catches this pitcher kind of thing.
Mhm.
As long as possible, unless something just, if, a pair just happens to work really, really, really well, where you're just like, okay, we can't break that up.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get into that position where your pitcher's not comfortable in the playoffs because the one catcher got hurt. You want him to be comfortable with whoever's back there. But
True.
maybe one of those guys just totally wins out the complete starting job, and then, we'll see from there.
Jonah was also really big today. It felt like he was doing a good frame job. So,
Yeah, for as long as that's still a thing, we'll be
Yeah.
good at it. We've been the best at it for the
For
last
a
5,
little
6
bit.
years.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It's still a very fun season. Astros are 2-4. I'm gonna say it even though you don't want me to.
They had
fuck them.
they had a really slow start last year too.
They did.
If I
but
remember
they also
correctly.
had inept Texas Rangers and Seattle Mariners teams letting them get away with that bullshit. So this year, let's not do that part, and I think we'll be great.
Yeah, so we did want to poke around the league a little bit. There's one team that hasn't won a game that we'll get to. Currently, right now, the American League Central, all 5 teams are tied at 2-4, so that bodes well for their whole bit. It does. I think it's kind of was considered coming
Who's
into the season
technically in
already.
the lead by a percentage?
Well, they're all the same percentage because it's 2 and
Or
4.
so does it just label it alphabetically? Like who gets the ranking order?
I don't know what the third tiebreaker is listed at, but right now the Twins they have on top.
They have okay.
The Twins are on top with Cleveland second, Chicago third.
Jesus.
But the East and the West were expected to be the stronger divisions in both the American and the National League as it is. And speaking of the National League, and we'll get to the only team without a win, the Atlanta Braves, who had a great offseason, great hopes, and things are not looking good now, specifically
fucking all.
because their biggest signing, the standout player last year for San Diego, former Texas Ranger Jurickson Profar, suspended for 80 games. He tested positive for a substance that masks PEDs, and he's also ineligible for the playoffs. No surprise, he was training with Fernando Tatis Jr. before last year, and that's like a tree for finding current PED users.
So the Padres looking pretty sus right now.
They didn't re-sign him. What do you want?
No, I mean, but
They're 7-0.
He learned the habit somewhere.
They're 7-0. I think they're okay.
It's so funny. Not our problem. So is the Dodgers?
Yes, the Dodgers are also 7-0, and I think those are the only 2 undefeated teams in baseball. Both,
And so
out
it's
in the
of
West.
course again the evil empire is buying wins. There's no integrity in what the Dodgers are doing, so on and so forth. But what we need to talk about is the most important topic in baseball: the torpedo bat. And is it going to save Jake Berger's season?
The most overblown story from the beginning of a baseball season ever.
Right. So
But
I've
hey,
briefly heard about this torpedo.
baseball's
Someone
in.
catch me up. What
Baseball's
is this?
in, baby. This is how you do it.
So it's a new, well, new. It's been around for a bit, but it's a different type of bat where they specifically look at a player's swing and where they hit the ball the best and reshape the bat towards the thickest at that point so that you get more power at the point you're trying to hit it on the bat versus a traditional bat that has kind of a more evenly tapered out sweet spot. Some guys are using it. Others guys have said they're not going to. Aaron Judge was like, I hit 60 home runs. I don't need to use that.
Respect.
I think I heard today Jake Berger has some on the way.
Yeah, that's why I said, is it going to save his season?
It's interesting. Those guys are such creatures of habit that I bet it feels really weird to hold a differently weighted like distribution bat. It was a big story because the Yankees hit a bunch of home runs. But I think the true story was that the Brewers are just terrible.
Fair. That was the thing.
And
is,
to be fair,
when I
Nestor
saw the
Cortez,
score-
former Yankee, started that game 3 pitches, 3 solo home runs.
No, yeah, and when I saw that score, it was more of a this isn't interesting unless it continues to happen. Like if this is a 1-game thing, all right. But if we see this multiple times over the next couple of weeks, then maybe we start to question.
No, that was exactly Guy making his first start of the year, it not going well, mixed with a really good lineup on the other side. You can't just be the bats weren't putting the ball in the middle of the plate, you know?
Yeah.
The ball was in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, torpedo bats a little overrated, but hopefully saves Jake Berger's season.
And yeah, I mean, it could help some guys. Innovation is always good. Some people thought they might be illegal, but they're keeping well within the rules of not letting it get beyond the 2.61 inches around.
And I guess the rules don't really mind having it in specific locations.
There's nothing about it there. They'll have to completely change the rule book, which I don't think they can do mid-season. So,
and they probably won't do it unless they see some sort of statistical average that is making them.
Yeah, they might force everyone to use it. Actually.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but I don't think we get to that point. I think they would go the opposite direction.
No,
I still think that they want to sell pitching.
It was a perfect storm of a couple Yankees are using it this year. They scored a bunch of runs against a bad team, and it's the beginning of the season. So it became a story for about 36 hours, and then the Debbie Downers and realists like me are like, this isn't. It's just another tool in the
Yankees
quiver.
didn't continue to hit 20 home runs a game for the next couple of days, so then everyone was like, all right.
No, it's not sustainable. Yeah. So we're looking forward to about 150 more baseball games. The Victory Plus thing's gone really well for the Rangers. We should definitely mention that.
Yeah, it's
branching
been an
out.
enjoyable broadcast so far.
The score bug is awesome. The pre and post game shows are great.
One nitpick.
Okay.
Can they give me better and more efficient like stats on the pitcher than just, I'm fine with the exit velocity obsession, but like it would be cooler if I actually knew how many strikeouts and walks he had at all times as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't hate for them to have some kind of StatCast thing going on, like the prime X-ray stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't want too many numbers. I don't need Vorp and Schmorp and Raptor and LeBron. I need just very simple, just the simple ones. Because I think walks and strikes are important. I know relief pitching, maybe it's goofier. Maybe you don't do it for the relief pitchers, but for the starters, I would.
that's why they do like hits per 9 or strikeouts per 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
To give you a better view of what that looks like in context with a starter. The strikeout to walk ratio to me is always a good one. And but yeah, these are stats you have to look up. They'll show it to you maybe once a game as they're out there warming up. But it's new. It's a new broadcast. It's a whole new network. So they're learning. I know Jared Sandler was he's going to do a weekly on the Dome Zone, and he was already kind of talking to them about what they like to see, what they think about the stats they're seeing. So hopefully he's got some more feels out there and some input on what's actually being put up.
It's also unfortunate to see him standing next to Elvis Andrews.
Why? Oh, for him. I think he's all right.
I know. I feel he's very confident, looks very dapper. It's just I didn't realize that
How short he actually is.
I mean, Elvis is a big guy. He's 6'1", 6'2", right? So he's not too small.
No, Jared's openly acknowledged how short he is as a man. I
Okay,
believe
well,
what I heard.
no worries there. It's just
I heard
I
this
did
week-
not. I had
He
not
said-
ever seen him.
He's okay. He's at some point this year he's supposed to
Familiar
do
with his
a race around the bases against Dave Raymond, who was at one point a Stanford track star. He said he was tired of getting short jokes, so he decided to come up with a contest for them.
Respect.
Dave Raymond is significantly older, so
Well,
And how tall is Jared Sandler? Is he my height?
he's probably not listed, but
probably about your height.
All right.
And he's standing, like I said, he's standing next to Elvis Andrews, so it's just very unfortunate.
Let's see here.
Listen, as a fellow short man, he should just be used to it by now.
No,
This is
he's-
pulling up
he
the
is
actor
completely
Jared
comfortable.
Sandler.
Yeah, I don't think he has a problem with it at all. It's just an interesting sight.
But I like him. I like that they've added a lot of voices and some more rotation of who's talking each game. I'm not totally in love with the Bassick Raymond combo yet, but that might grow on me as the season goes. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think Bassick has a lot of really cool pitching insight. But he started to get a little Tony Romo today. You're just kind of doing some of this.
Yeah, well,
And I
today
don't
I
know.
think was a hard
And I'm
sell.
like, what are you going to...
I think today
except-
was a bit of a hard sell. And I
Except
think
he's a
back-to-back
pitcher,
one,
and he's
though.
got good pitching insight. So this just should be
But
his
I think
exact
he also
spot.
acknowledged that like the wind was actually fucking the balls up quite a bit.
Yeah, unless anything that wasn't hit to left was blowing right back into
No,
the field.
I have no problem with Mike Ballsack as long as he's not talking about the Cowboys. I just don't understand why he thinks that he's got any jurisdiction there.
I mean, he was sports radio guy for a while, so
No, I
kind of
feel
got to
that,
cover
but
everything.
It's also just like I
Is
don't
he
understand.
still not sports radio?
I guess I don't
I
understand.
don't know.
I don't understand guys that are like, I'm super serious and smart and knowledgeable on one sport, but let me be a complete buffoon in another.
Oh, you mean like they do on like Fox Sports
Like,
with all of them? You have
Like, I
Chris
just-
Broussard trying to talk football. You have
yeah.
Paul
I'm
Pierce
like,
trying to
no.
talk football.
Yeah, they do. They do that a lot. They force those guys who don't know shit about the sport to just say hot takes about it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
such a
like-
funny thing.
It's a funny bit, except they don't know that it should be a bit and not for real.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm laughing at them, but not with them.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
And not watching them either, so not helping their numbers.
he left 105.3 when the season started.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, good. Focus time on the Rangers. It'll be good for you. I
And yeah.
don't mind him.
But in general, yeah, I like the broadcasts. I think they're doing a good job. I think it looks really nice.
Mhm.
It's the ads are weird because it's like you'll get a real ad, and then you'll get like your streaming style kind
The
of
music
low,
for the
low
Stars
music
games
bump
cracks
thing.
me up, dude.
The music for the Stars games.
Yeah, like they make a preview, like they'll advertise the next upcoming Stars game on Victory Plus, and it'll just
Where
be
it's all
this
like
weird
lo-fi.
ambient-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you'll get like an actual ad, then it'll cut to that. That's kind of not
Oh, and
seamless.
then the ad that's like unnecessarily
title max?
sexual sounding.
Oh, man, I don't know which one.
What was it called? It was for a food restaurant, and people are just going,
As opposed to another kind of restaurant.
I forgot what it was. That one's really obnoxious.
I'll see if I see it tomorrow during
There's
the
a
Stars
Dude
game or
Perfect
Ranger
commercial.
game. Well, Dude Perfect is on Victory Plus. They're on the platform,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope it doesn't.
so
ever pop
that
up
is
on my
their
autoplay.
that is their platform.
All right. Well, Dude Perfect is on there.
We also just in case you ever really want to just go crazy, they added some junior hockey, WHL, Canadian junior hockey.
That's.
I mean,
Incredible.
obviously with the Stars backing and Stars having a heavy,
No, I mean, it's
Canadian
smart.
base.
If it's a business move, do it. I'm not watching it.
it's genius. It's
There was
gonna
some other
do
stuff on
great
there
things for the
that-
platform.
It was kind of cracking me up, but I forgot what all I was looking at on that.
But yeah, I mean, not a lot to say other than it's fun. I'm super excited the season started. I loved being able to watch a game at work today. That was really, really fun.
Yeah, we love day baseball games, even though I don't know how well that goes for business.
Whose business?
Their business, not mine.
I got all my work done still.
Dude, it's easy to work through a baseball game. What do you mean?
Well, I got to move around.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, put
Just
it in
hold
your
my
ear, put it on
phone.
loudspeaker or something.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
just on my phone. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to run
Texas Rangers hockey.
out of steam here.
Dog, I've been out of steam since
I know,
since I
bud.
got on.
I know.
Well, I think we're done. I mean, it's the Rangers. There will be more of it. We're going to primarily be covering the Rangers throughout the summer, so that'll be good. Other
And
stuff
I'll,
can pop up.
As I am trying to make more of an effort to keep up with the stats and stuff this year, I'll have some weekly. I'm going to come up with something interesting at least to point out. Maybe get some who's hot, who's not, that kind of nonsense. Your generic sports nonsense.
Have an
and
official ranking of the farm system.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get too deep past the 40 man, but
No, you got to tell us who we need to look out for in rookie.
Sebastian Walcott.
Yeah, no, I mean that we're gonna. Don't worry. If all these guys keep having these shitty batting averages, you're gonna hear me bring that name up quickly.
I may
I
have
got-
already
I got a
asked if
bunch
he
of
could play
guys I'm
third
looking to
base
replace
multiple
right now.
times.
Wait, yeah, for real. I've got plenty of dudes. I might have a spot for them. So anyway,
That'll be the guy. That'll be the guy to look out for. Outside of the guys that are already there right now.
Well,
Are you doing origami?
Maybe. Playing with some. I'm fidgeting over here.
All right.
all right. We'll land the plane for the Texas Rangers
This
2025
is past
championship
Rust.
campaign. I called it